Oh, Jesus. Oh, where are you? Hey, fuck faces. Um, so I've decided to call this series Open Letters. It's a pretty gay title. I'll admit to it. But the purpose that I'm doing is more visual shit. Um, just, writing things down and thoughts down and things that I've always wanted to say on camera. I'm really bad at articulating. Reviewing things, commentary things, culture things, books, a lot of random shit. I really don't think, I don't know where this will go. I don't know, um, it, will more likely will not be completely shithouse, I'll admit to it. Um, just like my podcast, just like my vlogs and shit. Maybe once a week or every couple of weeks and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I'll try to. Here we go. It's really gonna be bad. This shit. And I'm not prepared. And this is my TV. I still got a TV I've had fucking years. So secrets now. So things like just poetry. I've got some old essays I can write. Start writing some more to keep ahead. Um, master notes. There we go. So the first book is The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. It's actually really good. I've read all of it. Um, I don't know how I can prove that, but when was it published? Um, okay, this was published in 1990, 30 years ago, as of today. This is 2020. Um, mainly talks about women and their beauty. Um, the subject, it is a feminist book. Um, the titles of the chapters are Beauty Myth, Work, Culture, Religion, Sex, Hunger, Violence, Beyond the Beauty Myth. It's really good. It is pop philosophy or pop sociology. Um, it is far more difficult to murder a phantom than a reality, which is true. Um, that's Virginia Woolf. Um, pretty much just like women-based stuff. It's a great intro to both feminism and philosophy. It's pop. You know, I guess the good thing about pop stuff is that's including pop music is it's a great intro. Um, there's a um, French female philosopher, Simone de Beauvoir. Pretty sure I pronounced that. That's some of the harder women stuff, um, philosophy. But I'll read the first couple paragraphs. Um, I'm gonna keep it in frame. Now I am looking at the fucking camera. At last, after a long silence, women took to the streets. The 2 decades of radical action that followed the rebirth of feminism in the early 1970s, women, Western women gained legal and reproductive rights, pseudo higher education, entered the trades, professions, and overturned ancient and revered beliefs about their social role. A generation on, how do women feel? Um, So I'm guessing from that one paragraph, it's the as they say, this book was published in 1990, so I'm guessing it was written in the mid late 80s. Um, so I guess it's more um, the immediate civil rights of women. Um, Fun fact: a counterpart to Naomi Wolf, it's Camellia Page. Google it. Um, she's a really great women's writer for modern times. Anyways, um, fun facts: New Zealand was the first country in the world to allow women's vote, and Australia was number two. And I think the States was number three, but New Zealand, I think the year was 1890 something. Um, the turn of the 20th century, give or take a few years. And I think Australia was like 1 or 2 years after, and then the States was another couple of years. Um, Women have always had jobs, at least in the modern age, to some capacity. There has been a lot of evidence. Yeah, I guess stereotypical roles like nurses and caretakers and stuff. I think the mainstream women did get a lot of work through World War II for obvious reasons. Um, I think a lot of women did work. I was actually listening to a video today, a podcast that women did work until the first pregnancy, and I think in between children or once they've stopped having children, um, they continue working. And I think a small population of the women, married women, I'm talking about from the 40s and 50s, that stopped working. I think the economic structure at the time was there just to support one income earner. So predominantly, I'm assuming the women that did have work back then were casual workers or just yeah, low paid jobs or something like that. I'm assuming I haven't checked, but that is, and the media, of course, film and TV and novels from that era populated that housewife image, and I'm sure even today in 2020, there's some women who fulfill that cliche. Um, Brief note: this isn't about women stuff on this video, this specific video. It's just this book was the closest thing to me. I didn't prep. Anyway, the second paragraph that I haven't read yet. The affluent, educated, liberated woman of the first world can only enjoy freedoms unavailable to any woman ever before. As feel no longer restrict their subconscious with their sense of lack of freedom, apparently serious issues that really should not matter. Many are ashamed to admit that such trivial concerns to do with their physical appearance, bodies, faces, hair, clothes matter so much. But in spite of shame, guilt, denial, more women are wondering if that isn't entirely neurotic alone, but rather something important. Fuck it. There's a few more words. Second of all, um, I'm not too sure when condoms became available, but I think especially from the 60s, where sex became so free, that there was birth control tablets and diaphragms. I'm sure there was some. I have not researched it. I'm gonna fucking smoke a cigarette. Secrets are found when the door's left open. Strive to be a pillar of culture, not as a pagan. No modern thinkers in modern no modern thinkers in modern times have modern fame. Um, Such as Noam Chomsky, Howard Zinn, um, who else? Woody Allen's pretty famous. Um, the rapper Tupac. Find out who he's named after. What else have I written? To that blank feeling, to that blank feeling for the world, immortalized over art, forms as philosopher, wording answers. In a world providing vague looks and lost words, left for the wind to carry around. Diversity everywhere, everything. While some practice politics over jasmine, rice, and tea, death to a smaller group, as lovers distract themselves by tearing off torn sheets. Poets given away freely from concepts without a sound, and a ripple of emotion. May the versing not be in reverse and pulled to the front platform highlight. Thought meeting. Um, so pretty much that's just based on um, I guess like um, modern thinkers and stuff like Noam Chomsky. Um, like I just said, Naomi Wolf in this book I just mentioned before. Um, don't have famous like celebrity, which they should. I was talking about contraception. Um, yeah, it's a good book. What else do I have here? Talk about feminist. My brewing career. Um, I've not read it yet. Um, Miles Franklin sounds like a dude. Originally published in 1901. Okay. It's got I don't know the word count to it. It's got about 450 pages. Okay. What else? Mere Christianity. I'm personally I'm agnostic. Well, bizarre, which I've got to put away. Okay, what? City of God. Um, oh, fuck, man. Thickness of book. I've only read this much. Okay, what else? There's another book that I've read. The Based Within. What's his name? Thomas Pynchon. I've only read B. This is Gravity Rainbow. Check out this. Thomas Pynchon is a great modern writer. Reading this book. Um, it's a good doco out on YouTube. Obama, bitch. Um, I don't think I did another bio. I've not this one. There's books back. What else can I write? Yeah, heaps of fucking books. Ow. No. Uh, Last Man, called written by Mary Shelley. She wrote Frankenstein, and her mum's talking about women writers. Her and her mum. I got this. Oh, not so. I got this book roughly over a year ago. Um, in Sydney City, there's a bookstore. I can't remember what it's called. It's right near Central Station. I gotta fucking find it. I can't remember much of it. It doesn't have much dialogue in it. Um, I don't put this book. This book for me has bad mojo. For other reasons. I'm sorry, Sweet Pea, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But fucking damaged it. Yeah, I think I had to put this book down. It doesn't have much dialogue. It's about the end of the world. Mark some shit. Yeah. It's pretty much about the end of the world. I've only read the book. I've not seen any film adaptations on it. Apocalyptic fantasy about humans. Okay, here's a fuckface, Dan Brown. Deception Point. I started reading it. Um, I've not finished it. I didn't capture. I've read, um, obviously the Da Vinci Code, and what's the other one about the Illuminati? He had much better language in those books. It's alright. I guess Dan Brown's the starting point for books. Um, Edgar Allan Poe selected ratings. This guy's a dead set alcoholic. Very good, but I find him hard to read. Find him really, really hard to read. This book has um, bad JoJo for me. Really bad JoJo for personal reasons. So, um, yeah. Oh shit. I don't know what meaning is. Anything in wisdom relies too much on faith. But I think where philosophy and humanity fail, the study of humanity doesn't end up with either. Okay. Open letter again. See what happens. Okay. So I'm confronted with facing another birthday. I find myself stuck or at least feeling like a previous year, as it is for me. To each day I age, shame, guilt, remorse grows. Maybe an indicator of my intensity of my emotions, to which I cannot conquer or master depart from. My addictive nature is still in me, my drive for an ideal character, which still fails me. Different or in various ways. And I'm reminded of poverty within myself, the unwillingness to accept that life is something will always be missing. Not everyone can handle putting in work in everyday life to get what they want. I've learnt French, I started to write poetry, I made films, studied recently to write more philosophy. It feels like it was for nothing. I took the ideas of an artist, took the ideas of a good man, and learned and used every moment to be myself to be better. My language lacks emotions, intensity, to the power of my thoughts. I write knowing how egotistical it is. I uphold mothering traits, femininity, which express my flaws. I could attach myself onto elements that belong to the metaphysical world. I am reserved around most of my people and keep my distance from them, producing certain mystique even though they may have attributes attributed to what I don't. Warmth, colouring of atmosphere, consideration of the flow of conversation, which I don't have. But I have fear and death,
particularly personal musings, to which my closed up nature, where often people take an interest to where they do, then I exploded my flaws. Okay, I didn't read it word for word, but this is the beginning of a small article that I wrote, um, which I've been streaming on language a lot. See if this is still recording. Um, yeah, 2 minutes and stuff. Um, I always have a problem with direct speech and stuff like that. Um, Pretty much what I write is it's a self inventory, self critique, reflection, meditation, ponder on myself, which I don't think people do often don't do. Um, yeah, generally I put a veil on, a mask on, present myself to a different world, which I don't have an issue. It's not inherently bad or good, but um, yeah. So pretty much is what I'm trying to say is connect what's happening inside to the my speech, to where I go wrong, present myself. Hey, look, I put a wall and a guard up. Um, I try yeah, it's confliction. I should post it up and stuff somewhere, but um, I'll stop there.
My fucking brother. Language, imagine speech, direct and precise. Language, imagine speech, direct and precise. How I wonder how thinkers aren't rock stars. I think I know better. We all know better. Take the potential of life could be. I think life is full of falsehoods and misunderstandings. At least I'm learning, leaving behind secret memoirs. 200 years ago, I don't think of 200 years ago, they didn't have film or photos. As writers, I think they should have remained knowing what reality is, but at least untouched with things fall apart. Nothing breaks like a heart. I'm still learning to speak. This is my eternal burden of any writer. Uh, yeah, I got into poetry a long time ago. Mainly because I'm not good with conversations. Normally, I'm very silent. Things like that, things of that nature. Um, I'm trying to separate this type of videos from my vlogs and podcasts, very diary entries. But to commentary on poetry, outside, I'm a big fan of William Blake and Allen Ginsberg. Um, but I don't. I think it, I write down things. Imagine speaking with direct and precise, perfectly articulating thoughts and feelings, which I'm not very good at. Um, but mainly, it's where I fail. Mainly, it's direct conversation with people. I think this happens more often than with everyone else. About you talking to somebody, and then um, later on, think I should have said this, should have said that. And I think with poetry, it's very good. Capturing moments. Um, Modern poets, Walt Whitman. I guess to an extent, Bob Dylan, though he doesn't write. Oscar Wilde. Um, what else can I think of? Jack Kerouac. Um, Obviously, some modern day ones. Oh, fuck, it blanks me. Um, but yeah, just imagine your speech is direct. And you should. Uh, I'm a fan of free speech.
In world of mundane, sending emails and shit. Oh, fuck is that, man? Trying to do work while creating work. Yeah, talking to a video like this, open essay, is completely new to me. Um, I was thinking about the Joker movie, with that Phoenix guy. I've been reading up about the incel stuff. I think it's just the social isolation. Obviously, the character has mental illness, which is um, nobody's fault while that's there. Um, it's I think there's a disconnect and void between, I guess, one not developing one's own character enough, um, knowing that you're at point A, wanting to get to point Z, um, and I think it's more of an instant thing. Um, the Joker review. Well, I didn't type the review. Yeah, I think it's a lack of people's inability to accept where they are to where they want to be in comparison to the outside world. Um, Todd Phillips and he co-wrote the screenplay of Scott Silver. I've never heard of Scott Silver. Okay, found people relating to incels and stuff like that, which post-production, music, marketing, release. Okay, the US Army distributed email warning service members potential violence, screening the film, noting the Joker's popularity with the incel community. A separate memo revealed the Army received credible information from Texas law enforcement. In the end of the rap expressed a backlash because its outrageous commodity. Phoenix walked out of an interview by the Telegraph, asked if the film could inspire mass shooters. He returned to finish the interview, but did not answer the question. Yeah, obviously they're doing comparison with The Dark Knight Rises, where that dude dressed as the Heath Ledger Joker shot a bunch of people in the theatre. Perception. Critical response. Yeah, look, like most art, nothing like most art pieces, it will never ever emulate reality 100%. I think the Oscar Wilde said that life imitates art more often than we thought would like to accept. Yeah, look, to be honest, sympathetic portrayal of a homicidal maniac could inspire real world violence. Look, I think a lot of that is people's personal responsibility. Um, it's life's unfair, but I don't want to fucking know. Dude, I've seen much worse movies than The Joker. But the character Joker has a large social impact on it. Pretty much Heath Ledger's probably killed it all. But the shit like best of course. Look, I really don't know much in the incel community. Really don't. Another article. Why I read. What is it to read poetry or any form of literature? Through novels, remain king in the literary world. Social media quotes become apparent still, like actions, any art some shape derived wisdom. Resisting struggle, resisting induces struggle. Shakespeare delightfully said, do not be afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. To my answer to Hamlet, it's better to be and not to be. After death, Mozart, those remain successful long after death, like Van Gogh and Mozart, maybe read original minds that experience something to learn from, having thought that may be imprinted in us as common speech, a way to learn to describe emotions and sensations that thought in philosophy can be counted as literature. Which is a good point. Can philosophy relies so much on language, um, the usage of it, the tone, the expression, the wording, and the syntax. It's a good question. Um, to my answer to Hamlet, it's better to be and not to be. Van Gogh never sold a painting within his lifetime. No one has ever complained about breathing, only being alive. Being held back, complaining about being stepped on. Perhaps like most, particularly film and music, reading drives us into a world where attention to every written word, we use our minds. If it's poetic, our emotions get involved. Yeah, look, I don't know about you guys, but reading poetry or something poetic emotionally grabs me a lot better than something plain. Uh, Reading and thinking are essential. Those are wishing to rise above something that isn't considered as ordinary. It is, reading like newspapers, articles, stuff like that. Don't forget, wisdom and knowledge, wisdom and actions are completely interchangeable at times. Knowing that there are, I could achieve greatness. You know, knowing that I can achieve greatness, but I've got to put in the actions to do that. But anyway, see how much footage I've got collected.
I am a fan of free speech, despite how stupid and ignorant and wrong it all may be. John Stuart Mill's got a great argument for it. You've got to know what ignorance is, and people got to fuck my whole fucking vibe. Um, take Donald Trump for example, since he's the fucking hot topic of it all. Um, if he's not allowed to speak, he's, at least world leaders know how not to speak. Um, I'm still learning how to speak. I think this is the eternal burden for any writer. Which is true, you ask any writer, they never articulate the interior properly. Um, I think Woody Allen's film Hannah and His Sisters, one of the husbands is a novelist, and there's a great scene. The husband and the wife are arguing, he's a novelist, and yeah. The study of humanity doesn't end. As this goes into the ether, I don't know what I like in coffee. I don't know what. Yeah, beatniks, okay. Some cultural commentary. I think they're going to see Kara again, William Burroughs. There's one more writer, the beatniks. Just Google them. I like the literature version of the Beatles. I got more paper. Talk about pubs drinking. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. Once a year, I take a confession. I woke up full of shame. Something hit me. It's given me much time, and I didn't do anything with it. The uses of time. I took once a year. I take confessions and stuff like that. Um, Mainly to get the shit off my chest. I'm nowhere near a Catholic at all. I don't have patience. I do, but it's not very strong. I want everything done now and never later. Not often the external can keep up or approve, so struggling acceptable in a sinful sense as it is and build from it. I'm always beating myself up. I'm beyond defective. Things change. I don't have to. Childish dependence. All I know is nothing. I want to be an artistic pillar of culture, but I'm sure that the gatekeepers won't let me in. I'm invented and will. I'm the invention, let it be. Haven't you heard of William Blake? One poem cost $100 each. I've never been. God, I can't read my writing. That's my fucking handwriting. I'm really impatient. That's just me. Um, keep this stuff up. Ingmar Bergman films. Wild Persona, The Brink of Life, um, The Seventh Veil, and that's it. I can't check Ingmar Bergman's films out. I would love to pick up a camera and be like him and stuff like that. Um, The Brink of Life, The Seventh Veil. Um, Personal insecurity. Ingmar Bergman takes everyday private lives and making them public. The Brink of Life is the death of newborns, uh, women giving birth and all that jazz. The seventh vow is learning how to die, which no one does. Death should be celebrated. Revenge. Reasons. Starsky. The study of art, the withdrawal of life, war movies. Okay. So, look, this is the first episode of the open letters and stuff. Very new. I haven't scripted it properly, but um, it's combining vlogs and podcast, more visual shit, doing shit for my room. Yeah. Get into Robert Crumb, Tribe Called Quest, Ada Piaf, Larry David. Uh, who else? Chewbacca. Check out the game Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I think I was about 16 when that game came out. I think so. Um, I played that game for hours on end. My hair. Honestly, the amount of times I've started that game and wanted to get 100% on it is unbelievable. I'll probably always get up to maybe roughly about 92, 93% completion of that game. And just realised I would spend 10, 12, 14-hour days playing that fucking game. Yeah. So like I said, look, it's a bit more visual, this open letter stuff. Um, Hopefully with some time, I might not do it weekly, but maybe a couple of episodes a month. But yeah. So hopefully in the next one I'll put some more thought. Um, Write down some more commentary for what's happening as well, visuals and shit. A couple of other ideas for cutaway shots as well, like my beard. Okay. My own private Idaho. Keanu Reeves, River Phoenix is in it. It was made in, oh god, it was made in the early 90s. Uh, River Phoenix is gay in this movie. It's about some homeless street kids who take a bunch of drugs and have sex. Uh, this is the director of Good Will Hunting, Finding Forrester, Die For, Elephant, who delivers his career defining moment. Gus was saying. The Underbelly of Portland, Oregon. Two male hustlers. yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of kids, prostitutes and shit. It goes for 90 minutes. Is it 90? 99 minutes. Really good movie. I actually do. I've watched seen it once. Um, Hitchcock's Psycho. I think it speaks for itself. I've actually read the book too. The book's much better. Um, Fun fact: I think the Godfather movies are better than the book. So, um, I've read the first Harry Potter one, and I first read the Lord of the Rings books, which is really good. Um, okay, the Iron Lady. Um, so it's about what's in Margaret Thatcher, the UK's first Prime Minister. She was done in the 80s sometime. Starring Meryl Streep. I think Meryl Streep's personally a fucking sellout, a Hollywood phony. Kids, there is no way you get that successful in Hollywood without knowing that shit about Harvey Weinstein. Um, no way. Fuck that bitch, man. Um, yeah, so look, that shit's happening for real. So, um, personal revelation starts crying with pity. As for society, pity can't be included. Becoming a writer, I don't know why. To help compensate what I lack, to draw attention. I've got very eternal world. To what's inside is far-reaching, but I have no illusions. I'll never be a cultural icon. A poem is a glimpse. So I guess the theme of this is going to be speech, language, and stuff of that nature. Struggle. So if you know me, um, I guess like I don't know. Interior design be more. Look, this is one room. Interior design. I think it's the most personal art form ever. Um, I can't read my writing. Ronald, mate. I don't know what I can write. I've written so many pages of notes. It's a new frontier of artistic methods. But I know my physical world, emotion, and health can separate things few people have ever made. I don't know what it takes to be a part of life, but I wish I knew. I did. I wish I had the courage to live. Slow burn coming from personal growth, colours dependent on the mood of the sun, causing into the beauty. I don't know what to be majestic, grandeur, and actions. It might be cheap, but I've always loved you. Part. Each word has deep meaning, representing the images of you. I wanted a gorgeous language to speak with tongue, to sit and attract attention for love those who read my poetry. I've touched a heart. At the cost of experience of Noah, I sit silently, cried, burdened with nothing, sit, sweeping motion, fell into normality. I can sit and owe everything to my life. I've lived, remarked, nameless moment. I've lived, I lived nameless moments with faceless. I write tragic passion of poetry, becoming nothing standard, whoever great. Um, Most of people's lives are nameless, unrememberable, faceless moments. Um, Pretty much, I've just thought about somebody I used to know. I highly doubt they'll be watching, but yeah, such is life. I think we regret so much. People, what makes the point of criticism? Um, DVDs maybe 20 past and 30. 10 more minutes. I don't know if you're watching this now or stay to the end. If you are, thank you. This is a new form of, I want to say diary entries or vlog entries or podcast shit to give it more of a visual point and social commentary, um, or culture commentary, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully over the time goes by, I'll be a little bit better at writing this stuff. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna turn this, yeah. Look, I don't know how regularly I can do this stuff too, but yeah, see what happens. Thanks anyway.
Also, there's a PayPal link down below. Please donate some money. There's an email address, hopefully, down below. So send me shit. See what happens.